Harry's wife. Frozen penis. Now you might think that this video is actually utilising that title to describe the person in the picture, where actually on his head, if one were minded to draw a couple of lines, one could transform him into a huge frozen penis, I suppose. But we're not talking about Prince Harry being a frozen penis, although many people would think that would be an accurate description of him, as the picture relays, but rather we're talking about Harry's frozen penis. Yes, I should imagine that many of you did not think there would be a day where you would hear your glorious narrator discussing the frozen genitals of a member of the British royal family. Furthermore, I dare say many of you would not have imagined that a member of the royal family would be talking about their frozen genitals in the first place. But remember, of course, this is a man who, alongside his narcissist wife, has screamed, "We want our privacy! We want our privacy! We want our privacy!" and then decides he's going to tell everybody about the fact that he's circumcised and also that he had a frost-nipped penis. If that doesn't undermine any notion of privacy, I don't know what does. But let's find out what fresh madness the Duke of Frozen Gonads has to tell us. The pink pancakes being turned into the ice blue pancakes, it would appear. Prince Harry reveals he had a frostbitten penis at William and Kate's wedding. It isn't a fancy vol-au-vent, but reference to his own genitals being in a somewhat frozen state. The Duke of Sussex confesses he was still recovering after his genitals were injured during trip to North Pole. Maybe he should have had a word with Santa. I'm sure he has some thermal long johns that would have prevented such an occurrence. The Duke of Sussex reveals in his memoir that he was suffering with a frost-nipped penis during the Prince and Princess of Wales's wedding. Maybe that's the reason that he had an excuse so that he wasn't slipping a crippler to one of the bridesmaids. "Oh, sorry, no can do. Old Bell End is like a frozen Brussels sprout. Not going to happen." Prince Harry writes about the painful experience he endured following a 200-mile expedition to the North Pole in March 2011. He says his penis took a long time to heal, and that he was still recovering as he stood alongside his brother at his wedding the following month. "While the ears and cheeks were already healing, the soldier wasn't," he writes. "It was becoming more of an issue by the day." The anecdote is revealed in Spare, the Duke's memoir, which will be published next week but has already gone on sale in Spain. Reports that sales of frozen chipolata sausages in Iceland, the shop, not the country, have plummeted is yet unconfirmed. The Duke reveals he tried various remedies, including Elizabeth Arden cream with little success, and eventually sought help from a doctor. The mind absolutely boggles. I mean, one could imagine this scene. "What the fuck are you doing, Harold?" Oh, I'm sorry, Big Billy Boy. I didn't think you'd be in." "What the fuck are you doing, sticking your bell end in my wife's Elizabeth Arden cream?" "I'm really sorry, Billy Boy, but the whole fucking todger is still frozen in it from when I went to the North Pole. I went and did that charitable gig." "Yeah, I know you did. I ensured that Mickey the Spiv organised for you to fuck off to the North Pole so you wouldn't be fucking doing some kind of idiocy such as this, you fucking melt." "Oh, I did it for the charities though, didn't I?" "I know you did, and that was a good thing, bro. It was a good thing. But you've got to remember, you're an utter ginger dimwit, and it's our role to ensure that you don't keep fucking up like doing something like this. What? Again, I'm asking you, why are you putting your todger in my wife's Elizabeth Arden cream?" "Big Billy, The doctor told me that if I put it in there, it would get rid of the frostbite that I've suffered from going to the North Pole. What have I told you before about whipping little Harry out where he ain't wanted? If you have been waving your dick around in front of Eskimos and you've gotten some frostbite in your todger, that is your fucking problem, you weapons-grade helmet. Oh, I wasn't. I needed a pee, didn't I? And I forgot. And then I did a pee at the North Pole. And then it all got frozen. And then the doctor said, put it on the Elizabeth Arden cream. And I knew that the beautiful and fragrant Kate would have some. So I came here and, well, you found me. You should have fucking asked. This is what is a fucking liberty. I don't care the fact that we're family. You're going to get punished for this. Oh, no, Big Billy. No, I don't want no punishment. I've had enough. No, you need to learn, you little ginger-haired rascal. You need to understand that it's a taking fucking liberties, sticking little Harry in my wife's Elizabeth Arden cream. Yeah? Capiche? Oh, no, I'm ever so sorry. I won't do it again. That's not good enough, you slag. Now, tell me, where's that new set of crayons that you got? Oh, no, the crayons, Billy boy. Anything but the crayons. I love me crayons. You know I loves me crayons. Don't do it. Yeah. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get a pot. And then we're going to put the crayons in. And we're going to melt them. Oh, no, Billy boy. Don't do that. Oh, you've got to learn that it is unacceptable and degenerate, deviant behaviour to stick your todger in my wife's Elizabeth Arden cream. So one could imagine that William, discovering him doing that, rolled out something like that in an Eastenders style. But returning to the Daily Telegraph article, he describes how he stripped before telling the doctor that everything from sitting to walking was difficult, while sex was impossible. After a thorough examination, he was told that time would be the healer. That hasn't been my experience, he observes, in a reference to his mother's death. Well, I think Harry has managed to plummet to a new low there, that in talking about his penis, he manages also to mention his dead mother. The Duke joined a group of ex-servicemen for 4 days of their 13-day trek across the polar ice cap to raise funds for the Walking with the Wounded charity. They became the first team of war-wounded amputees to ski to the North Pole unsupported. Elsewhere, he reveals that he was circumcised as a baby, despite numerous reports detailing that he was not. He says the question of whether he and his brother William were circumcised was a matter of public record and indeed some public curiosity. I can tell you now, it has never invaded my consciousness to know whether he or his brother are circumcised. There were countless stories in books and papers, even the New York Times, about Willie and me not being circumcised. Notice again the reference to Willie. I think you'd be more likely to call him William or Wills. Mummy had forbidden it, they all said, and whilst it's absolutely true that the chance of getting penile frostbite is much greater if you're not circumcised, all the stories were false. I was snipped as a baby. Well, once again, we have the incidence of oversharing, and once again, this reinforces the fact that he is being hung out to dry with tales about penile frostbite and triangulating that with his dead mother. One of the observations below the line, Jan Jones, is there anything left for this blabbermouth to reveal? Who cares about him, his genitals, his loudmouth, moaning, common, treacherous wife? For God's sake, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. We are sick to death of it. Paul Jones observes, sure it wasn't the toxic wife rather than the cold. Paul Bradshaw, man who angrily denounced his privacy being invaded, writes book in which he recounts his penile ailments and circumcision status. Chris P. Nugget adds, man who angrily denounced his privacy being invaded, writes book about his privates being invaded. Sue King, he has been well and truly rinsed and hung out to dry by his wife, Oprah, Netflix and Random House. I only object to the fact that he has put innocent people in danger through his ridiculous revelations. Times refugee responds to a comment, but first, Times refugee responds to a comment saying, "Are you sure he strikes me more as his wife's glove puppet?" Reasonable comment. Let's face it, he probably didn't review the finished article. Most likely he just sat there, recounting incidents with helpers elaborating. He's been played, and is now at the end of the Harry's wife's usefulness cul-de-sac. I think they mean cul-de-sac. Plenty of material for Harry's wife's books, including the eventual estrangement. What is really sad and surprising is the publisher and ghostwriter disrespectful war episode. M. Luckling, why would you broadcast this to the world? He's totally flipped. Caradog at Pran. There you go. Harry isn't a complete prick after all. Dougal Paver. Prince Harry had frostbitten penis at William and Kate's wedding. The rest of us had chicken. Very good. Roger Harris. Yet more evidence that this ghostwriter is having a huge laugh at Dimwit's expense. Top Hat. The ghostwriter has evidently insisted on being paid a percentage of the profits rather than a flat fee. That's why he's put in all the embarrassing rubbish about Harry's todger, mounting an older woman like a stallion, etc. It's utterly humiliating for Prince Harry, but he's stupid to realise this. John Appleby. The press are too intrusive. Let me tell you about my penis. Karen Wood. Can you imagine his embarrassment when a 12-year-old Archie reads his book? What on earth was Harry thinking of? If there is a low rumbling sound heard in Berkshire, it will be coming from the royal vaults as the Queen and Prince Philip turn in their graves. Christopher Fairlamb, notably the witch, Harry's wife did not try to stop him. Why, I wonder. Nick Bernard, when he was circumcised, they threw away the wrong bit. Brum-tsh. Top Hat. I was worried that this book would damage the monarchy, the king and queen, and the royal family. In fact, it only damages Harry. How could he be so stupid as to tell the world about his frost-bitten todger, his circumcision, mounting the woman in the field behind the pub like a stallion, having his necklace torn off him, falling onto the dog bowl and all the rest of it? Jen Barmer, Comedy Gold. Anne Gedge, what a total tool. Please don't tell us any more. When are the men in white coats coming? Much hilarity at the expense of Harry. Again, he's being hung out to dry and doesn't realise it. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.